Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series. August the 29th, 1987 is the episode at hand today. We have an update on the World Class Championship situation. Apparently, there is a match in another location where Kevin Von Erich and Brian Adias did battle. There is the injury angle that they show. Somehow this leads the championship committee to deduce that Al Perez, because Kevin Von Erich cannot defend the world championship any longer, Al Perez is the champion. I assume it's because that is the most recent title defense. However, they do not announce this. This was a poorly done angle, and but Al Perez, the be-all, end-all of this situation is Al Perez is your current world champion, and he will defend that later in the day. But before we get there, Brian Diaz' injury to Kevin Von Erich must be handled along with the first match of the day, Joey Jackson, Al Madrill. Madrill, obviously, still here as a guy who is trying to get some degree of, I don't even know that attention is the right word, but focus. Jackson looks to be in good shape, offers the hand. Really, he's an enhancement talent, but also a guy who, they're trying to get more out of. Madrill with hammerlocks and very basic maneuvers. Madrill manages to stay on his adversary with arm locks. They trade holds for the first several minutes of the contest. Madrill takes the advantage with strikes. That's where that goes. And then the Irish whip reversal by Jackson, and the cross body by Madrill gets the victory. 1, 2, 3. Brian Adias injures Kevin Von Erich up next from that house show that I mentioned just a minute or two ago. Adias has the claw, or is in the claw rather, and the referee is making a pinfall, and then we basically see the fight continue. Kevin does not want to come off. There is a ninja that attacks Kevin, or tries to, from the apron. There's an attack from behind from Adias. The ninja holds Kevin. Kevin is not appropriately handled. The spike is driven, we are to believe, into the eye or eye region of Kevin Von Erich. He cannot intelligently defend himself. Then we have and it takes several minutes to get him out of the ringside area. Then we have a tag team match with Arsini. For some reason, I had written 6-man and knew that wasn't right. Ted Arsini and Brian Adias versus the Spoiler and Skip Young in a tag match. Adias brags about taking Kevin out. Adias, probably the top heel in the area. Who would have thought that at this point? Anyway, Arsini is impressing his manager, even if not anybody else. And for the record, the tag match is the Spoiler and Young. I think I said Tony Atlas, didn't mean to. Anyway, Young manages to handle his adversaries quite well. Adias bumps around for him, cross body off the top rope. Well done, only a 2 count though. Adias manages to come in and regather things for his team. Adias uses power, and Arsini, Adias uses speed, Arsini uses power. Arsini actually going to town on the Spoiler, which is a bit surprising with the Spoiler's history in the area. Skip Young nearly gets a pinfall victory a couple minutes in. However, that does not occur due to the interference of Arsini. Chop to the head by Skip Young. Young gets an advantage, however, and almost pinfall, but Percy Pringle puts the foot of his man across the bottom rope, and that leads to issues there. The heels get a victory by cheating. Spoiler goes and gets a chair. Wants to send home the message that he wants more of those adversaries. We are fast approaching the end of the program to a degree. However, there are a few more segments here. We do see Brian Adias with his ninja. Ninja uses martial arts strikes to crush a watermelon. They're trying to get the ninja over. This is almost like what they tried to do with Great Kabuki. Not the same type of thing. Well, it's the same type of thing, but again, Brian Adias says that he has learned striking. He busts through a watermelon as well. And then, that's where that's going. Fritz von Erich addresses the Lance von Erich situation. He basically says that his name is Lance Von and that he no longer has the association with the von Erich name. That basically the idea is that he's been a fraud all along. This is addressed because he has gone to work for Wild West Wrestling, a local area outlaw promotion. And that is, that's the idea there. We move into a tag team match. Eric Emery and Frankie Lancaster and I believe Phil Apollo versus Steamboat and the Simpsons. So a 6-man tag team match here. Phil Apollo relatively new. A little bit of trivia. Phil Apollo has in fact and did in fact play the Doink, a Doink at a point. Also, Ray Apollo did the same. Anyway, tag off. Simpsons get an advantage. Steve Simpson in via the top rope. The Simpsons are over with the fans already. You can tell, especially the ladies. Big monkey flip by one of the Simpsons out of the corner, and the Emery takes the monkey flip. Tag off to Lancaster. High over rotation on a crossbody, almost dangerous. Sean Simpson into the ring for what seems to be the first time in the contest. He doesn't do a heck of a lot, however. The heels bump all over for him. And then Steamboat comes in a bit, and we kind of see that take precedence. Lots of mat wrestling. And it's clear that what we're seeing is the baby faces trying to get the rub off of this. I think at this point they need stronger baby faces. Emery back in with one of the Simpsons. His arm gets worked over pretty good for several minutes. And then Vic Steamboat comes back in. There is not a lot to Vic Steamboat in terms of he's good in the ring, but never has the charisma to really go as far as he could have gone with the look and the technical ability. Lack of charisma kills him, though. Frankie Lancaster gets a hook on Steamboat and snaps him over with a suplex. Then the 6-man tag kind of breaks down into complete chaos. The babyfaces hit triple drop kicks, and the referee loses all control of everything associated with the match. The heels head scampering out in a hurry, and nothing really got accomplished with the match itself. Baby faces are, they feel they're cheated. Boy, Tony makes his way out. Then there's an interview segment with the fans, basically hyping their favorite wrestlers. Nothing of major note there. Not Tony Robbins, but Tony Atlas manages to talk about the spike and the danger of the spike. We see him doing workouts, pushing his body to its maximum limits in the middle of the ring. that personality profile, talking about the strength of Tony and the fact he's been around for over a decade. He again puts over the danger of that spike, otherwise known as the tool. Then we move to our main event. They have about 10 minutes. The new world champion, Al Perez, Heartthrob Al Perez, against Matt Bourne, and Bourne there with his father, which is kind of a cool crossover. I think they're trying to get Bourne ready maybe for a championship run. He's been around long enough. Perhaps the tie-in of family nature would get that going a bit further. Head scissors all the way through by Perez. Perez stays on the ground. Both Perez and Bourne have great amateur ability, and that is executed and exercised here. I would say Bourne, being second generation, has a little bit more than Perez, but Perez does some roll throughs and gets some quick near falls that most people would be surprised by. With about, maybe 4 minutes left in the program, they are dead set even. There is a loss on a hip toss, and basically Perez throws himself into it. Perez is selling for his size is really, really good. I think learning to be a big man who sells, if that's something you're into, Perez is a guy worth watching. Bourne goes to the outside to check with his father. This particular area is a little bit dark. He is thrown over the top rope and claiming victory, but the referee doesn't make that distinction right away. And then, Bourne gets clobbered in the corner. Bourne gets a few near falls, but nothing ever finishes in the match. And Gary Hart takes his man away, clear in the knowledge that Al Perez is still his champion. We close the month of August on that note here in 1987. I will be back with SmackDown later tonight, also perhaps more world class, but we will be back right after this.